Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello, Emily. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm very good, thank you. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. We've got the coffees
Thank
at the
you.
ready. Happy with them. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. So this is doing the podcast today. Elizabeth is a web developer, software developer based in Rugby, Warwickshire, and she is joining us today to talk about her experience in web development and also sharing how she got into the tech industry as well. So to start us off, Elizabeth, explain how you got into the tech industry.
Oh, thank you, Emily. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Elizabeth, and I've been a software developer for 6 years now. Getting into tech for me was a bit funny and tricky because I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, they started coding while they were like young, and then it turned into a career." But for me, the funny thing was I was at home one funny day, and then my senior sister sent me a message, and then she said, "What do you think about web development? Do you think you would like to work as a web developer?" And I was like, "Don't you need like a degree for that, like computer science degree for that or something?" And then she said, "Yes, you do, but you can learn your way through it." Because then I was not in uni yet. I was still waiting on my admission to get into uni. And then I was like, okay, yeah, I could give it a go and let's see
Yeah.
what's in it for me. So she sent some articles to me to read through. I went through it and then I liked what I saw and I decided to go for it. And then I started learning. Also started an internship at a company in Nigeria, which was a very good company. And and while I started, it turned into an hobby because I was literally either watching tutorials or trying to code something or build something. So it turned into an hobby that I really like to do every time. And then it turned into something that I loved. And from there, it turned into a career. And here I am today.
Amazing. I love that. That's such
Yeah.
a good story. Thank you.
Yeah, it has been like a very very interesting journey, more like a bittersweet experience because there are some days where I would feel like, oh, I'm on top of the world, I can build this, I can fix this, but there are also some days that I feel like, oh god, am I sure this is what I want to do? Because it's just like, and I feel like that's what makes the journey interesting because of the up and downs. Yeah. And I've worked in various project settings, like as a freelancer or in a company or one-on-one business projects, which has all been interesting and really good, interesting.
Yeah, you've done so well. So how many years have you been doing this now? Explain a bit about your perhaps previous positions that you've been in, your career to date. That'd be great.
It's been like 6 years now. Yeah,
Nice.
it's been 6 years. Wow, that's a long time still.
It is actually, yeah, yeah, it's gone quite quickly. Mm. Yeah, like you've done sort of various different positions in software engineering and web development, haven't you? Since the last 6 years.
Yeah.
Any sort of specific projects that you work on? So it's perhaps type of applications that you're building or development that you're working on.
Uh, Currently, I work in a tech company which builds software products for hospitality industries and other industries too, not just hospitality industry, and just build website for them. And users are able to go through the rooms and they're able to book rooms on their website.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah, no, that's great. And what advice would you give to anyone wanting to get into the tech industry, into development, or perhaps even when you were applying for jobs as well? Any sort of advice that you could give?
That's a good question,
Mm.
question because I just remembered when I started and I fell into something called tutorial L. So the advice I would give it to someone coming into tech is don't fall into tutorial L because you might get frustrated and you might not get to learn a lot as you're meant to. So falling into tutorial L is a big it's not a good thing. Just let's just say that it's not a good thing. So
Learning, yeah, the
yeah,
theory side of it,
try to
yeah. Mm.
practice when you are learning. Don't just watch YouTube videos or tutorial videos. When you watch videos, try to put it into practice, get smaller projects to work on. There are various platforms where you can get free projects to work on. For example, something like Front End Mentor, it's a free resource where you get projects. They give you the pictures that you need and all the assets that you need to complete the project, and then you can submit it to them. Yeah, so don't fall into tutorial or try to
Mm,
practice, try to do
practice, yeah.
something. I'm not saying
That's really good.
I'm not saying watch YouTube tutorial is bad, because it does help in some way, but the bad side is more than the good side. The good side is it's going to actually teach you how to structure your code. But if you don't actually put it into practice with yourself, with different
Mm.
projects, you're going to forget at some point. And then I would also say try to network with people, connect with people, people that write the same language as you. Try to connect with people, because you are going to fall into bugs or problems that you don't know how to get your way out of it. And getting people that you can call on or just say, oh, I need your help, I don't know what to do, is a very, very big flex, and it's going to help in the long run. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
nice. You get that network around you to support you with any sort of
yeah,
questions and everything. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Mm,
it's a good thing to network.
nice. And you use various different platforms, don't you? Open source platforms. We spoke about there was, I think, one of the two main sources that you use for code, like the open source ones.
Yeah, yeah, that would be GitHub open source project. It's also good to get engaged in communities. For example, like Stack Overflow, try to be active on them, because a lot of people also think that for you to be able to be active on Stack Overflow, you have to be very good, or you need to know all the skills and all of that. But there are actually some easy questions that people do ask, and just getting yourself familiarized with communities like that would really help in your journey and your path. Is really going to help, because I'll give an example of me contributing on Stack Overflow. So I went there on, I think it was after work or in a weekend, I can't remember. And then I saw a question. Someone asked a question, and it was like, "Oh, he has this sort of problem." And then I was like, "Okay, I could do this. This looks easy." So when I started, I also I got stuck, and then I was like, okay, I don't know, also know what to do, but I still decided to like do more research on the problem, and then I got to learn something. I got to help someone fix their bug, so that's another
Nice.
helpful part of thing of trying to be active on these communities. You would also learn
Mm.
as part of being helpful to other people. Yeah,
That's amazing. Just have a go, isn't it? You don't know until you try. So I like that you put yourself forward there and you were
yeah,
determined that you were going to find the answer, find the solution. You didn't know it at the start, but you had that confidence and that belief in yourself that you would find the answer, right? And it's must be
yeah,
really you can help
yeah.
somebody with
And
something.
the funny thing about web development, programming, coding is you always need to like try to push yourself to do something, because if you don't, you might just get stuck with what you know, and you don't
Mm.
want that for yourself. You need to try to get involved even with things you are not familiar with, things you don't know. Get involved so that you can get a wider range of knowledge, or you can add to yourself and grow from there. Yeah,
Yeah, so you're constantly developing your skills. Yeah.
yeah.
How did you develop your skills? And what's the main technologies that you work with, and how have you learned those? Just to get an idea of that as well.
How I developed my
Mhm.
skills was I did go to uni and then study computer science, and I did learn a lot of theories, but most of the learning started when I started doing projects on my own, because you need the practical skills. You need to learn how to actually apply what you've learned into projects. Yeah. So I did some courses on Udemy. I did some YouTube tutorials, but I always like try to put them into practice. And also, yeah, helping on Stack Overflow also helped me scale into a position where I feel like I'm comfortable and I can actually do something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, thank you. And you work with various different technologies, both sort of like back-end development, but also like the front-end side of things as well. With WordPress, there's massive benefits that aren't there. developing WordPress websites with a developer. Explain to us some of those benefits, of working with a developer when you're creating, a website for a business.
Okay. I would say WordPress is a very good technology for businesses because you can just go ahead and then create something for yourself. But working with a web developer with WordPress would definitely give you a variety of advantages and possibilities and yeah performances and scalability to your to your website because you might be limited when you decide to work on WordPress alone, but when you have a web developer working on it for you, you have the ability to let them know that okay, these are my needs and my specifications, can I meet them, is there more to we can add to it. So yeah, you have that ability to tailor your needs, the work the website to your needs. Yeah, that's one
Mm,
nice thing I like about or WordPress, which is content management systems. There are other platforms like under that, but yeah, that's one good
that'd be
reason
the
to
main
work
thing,
with a
yeah. And
developer. Yeah.
you build it totally from scratch, don't you? So anything specified, you can work together with someone that has the
Yeah,
ideas to,
yeah,
what can be done. You could develop, something from scratch for them.
yeah, and you can
Yeah.
also make use of the performances and the optimization for your website because for a good website, it needs to be optimized, it needs to be scalable, it needs to be flexible, it needs to be visually appealing to the users. Because I know I don't know, but for me, if I'm not a good website, I'm not staying there for a long time. And so I know
No,
that
it's a very good point to make. Yeah.
users wants to like they want to use something that is actually good to them or they feel like it looks nice. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, I've explained to you how with the business tech recruits here to connect has recently launched. So, I've done as much as I possibly can by myself, in terms of doing the website and doing the WordPress. And I started off with a template and got really, really excited and made loads of changes and completely broke it.
And how is that going for you?
I reset the whole thing, and then any little change I'm like really, really super careful with. But obviously, as the business develops and, as there's going to be more sort of behind me, I'll be looking at developers to sort of create something a little bit more robust. Then I won't fall into that trap. But SEO, performance of the website and all sort of things, which, I'm not able to know what I'm doing with. So a huge amount of value that you add when you're developing it from scratch. So no, that's great. And just touching again on, so when you were applying for various different job roles and things within the industry, advice for those people that are applying for positions, because did you find that there's sometimes a huge list of requirements you see on those adverts? How did you find sort of searching for positions in the past?
uh I would say it's stressful and just don't give up because it's not just about
Yeah,
web development. Any role that you have to apply for, you would definitely get rejections and then but don't give up. And something is definitely going to
yeah.
show up if you have the skills and then and also if you're able to convince the employer like okay yes I might not have everything, but I'm willing to learn, to contribute, to
Mm.
learn as much as I can, to grab onto things and all of that. Because I mean, just don't give up. And also, using job boards can also be very helpful. But the question that I always have at the back of my mind for recruiters is that when they list all of these job requirements, do they really want all of them met, or just some of
Yeah, that's a really good question because some of them have so many lists of different technologies and tools that they're looking for. So I would say that usually when we speak to a company, a client, they give us a whole
them?
list and they want everything. They're looking for that unicorn, someone that has everything that they are ideally looking for. But what I would say is that is the wish list. So not to let that put people off,
Yeah,
not necessarily apply if you don't have all of those on the list there.
yeah,
At least you've got a few of those. And like you say, have that ability and that willingness to learn is goes such a long way because you can't necessarily change someone's ability to want to learn. That's, as a
yeah.
personality trait, perhaps, but you can always upskill somebody. So if you're
Hmm.
showing that willingness that you've not got X, Y, and Z, but you're more than happy to learn, then yeah, you'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, I believe that when employers see that their passion on probably someone trying to get into tech, applying for an entry level role, they like it. They feel like, okay, yeah, she really wants to do this, or he really wants to do this. I think this person is passionate about it. So just knowing how to
Mhm.
show that, okay, I'm passionate about this. This is my life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you're interested and it's something you enjoy doing, and that's the passion as well. I mean, actually wanting the position as well. I think a lot of people that when they have interviews, they do the interview, they answer all the questions, but then they forget to actually say that they really like the sound of the opportunity, the company, that you're really quite excited by it, and unless somebody knows that, they're missing, right? So you have to almost state the obvious sometimes.
Sorry.
Yeah. You have to state the obvious sometimes if you are interested in that position and, get that enthusiasm and that passion across.
Yeah.
Um, so what options do you think we're going to be seeing in web development, in tech, perhaps in your day-to-day job role, perhaps different tools that you might be working with? What sort of predictions do you have for this year and the future?
Uh, Prediction is a very funny word because the technology is always improving. There are always new libraries, new technology to work with. But the headless CMS, which is also content management system, is one interesting thing that I'm a little bit hooked on at the moment, where it's more like WordPress, but you don't get to see the admin area because it's gives more flexibility and scalability on applications where you can also use it for e-commerce platforms and all of that. Yeah,
So, headless, did you say?
yeah,
Headless CMS, that's something a bit new. Yeah. Okay. No, that's amazing. Thank you. And what are your thoughts on women in tech? You're women in technology. So what are your
yeah.
thoughts around being a woman in tech?
That's a very, very good question. Women in tech. The only thing I would say about that is when I look at the tech industry at this age and time, and with the progress made in recent years, I would say the gender disparities still exist like 100% because you walk into a company and then there's the tech team which is like 30 team members and then you only find two women among them or just one woman among them, and it's I don't think it's very nice because I know when you're working, you might want to just have a girly chat with your team member, like, oh, how are you doing? Just those kind of girly conversations during work hours. But it's glaring, it's obvious that women are not like they're not like 100% in the tech industry, and I also
Mm,
feel like women themselves, some of them feel discouraged because of the stereotype of tech jobs is like it's a male dominated profession, yeah. So I feel like
mm,
women also feel they need to like be be confident like in themselves and then go for it if they really do want to be in tech. Like they are always welcome. There's space for women and all
yeah.
of that,
Giving them that confidence and
There's space for
encouragement that,
women. And
they are welcome.
it will be nice
Mm,
to get more women in software development role, cybersecurity role, and all of that. It will just be very nice. And I do know that there are like women in tech because I went for an what's it called, an International Women's Day event at
mm,
Unity Park, and I met a lot of women who shared their stories, how they've come this far, and what they've achieved in tech, which really did encourage me. And I also was able to share some of my own experience working in tech and encourage other women. And that's really something that we are here for, like, women supporting women. And we would love
yes.
to see more of that. So getting more women in tech is something that would be really appreciative and
Mm.
really nice. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. I remember that event at Unity. It was really, really good evening, wasn't it, around
Yeah.
International Women's Day? And you got up on the stage as well, which was great. 'Cause there was about 150 people there.
Yeah.
And you stood up there and you were talking about how you got into tech and how you were almost quite someone questioned whether it would be the right choice, and you absolutely proved them wrong. And you were in your dream
Yeah.
job now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also feel like when not just women, I guess people in general, you get some type of discouragement, or when you have your mind fixed to the end goal, you know what you want to go for and all of that. I believe that people should go for it and then don't care what people has to say about it. But
Yeah.
women really need to, get on their Zoom and then just participate more in tech, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It needs to come from men as well, doesn't it, to encourage those women and support those women as well as women
Yeah.
ourselves, to support each
Yeah.
other. So it's
Yeah.
both, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there are platforms that actually do empower women in getting into tech, that can actually or making it easier
Mm.
for them to get into tech.
Oh,
Actually.
yeah. So what are these platforms? So there's various different platforms, is there, that you've seen, or what would you advise to look at?
Yes, I would say when you probably want to like connect with people or network with people, I would say Code for Her, because I do go to Code for Her recently. Now, and then it's in Milton Keynes. So if you're close to Milton Keynes or around Milton Keynes, I stay in Rugby. I have to get a train to get to Milton Keynes.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can
That's what
always
really
show
nice
up.
about that event.
Yeah,
It's a good one,
you
isn't
can
it?
always show up,
Mm.
and then you can find them on Meetup. There's an app called Meetup. You can find them there. And that their name is called Code for Her. You can. It's very helpful. You get to meet other women. You get to share your experience or where you currently are. If you need help, they are willing to guide you. Like very lovely
Mm.
people that you can meet there are willing to guide you, willing to give advices, or if you're actually looking for a job, the best advice and all of that. And then there's also other platforms like She Codes, where you can actually learn how to code. And then also Code First Girls, Code First Girls. That's also a platform that women can
First
use.
girls. Yeah.
Actually,
Mm.
platforms that you can get to meet people and connect.
That's amazing. There's quite a few, isn't there? Yeah. And are there opportunities to help to empower women to get into tech? You mentioned something that you're perhaps going to be looking at applying for, in terms of being that sort of entrepreneur and that sort of forward thinker in the tech industry. Explain to us a bit about this application that you're making as well.
Uh, so it's just something that I'm working on. It's like a employee dashboard where what I use .NET and Angular for the
Mm.
project. So it's just for users to be able to search for their employees, add to the employee database, and then delete. And yeah,
You're trying new technologies. Yeah, .NET is a new one for you, isn't it? It's like a new
yeah, it's
technology that
something that
you're
I
learning.
currently took on. It's not like something that I'm very good at, but yeah, I mean that's part of web development. You need to try as much as you can. Get familiar with other things.
Yeah, that's really, really good advice. Yeah, amazing. Thank you so, so much for sharing your advice to those in web development. I'm sure many people will be
Yeah.
able to take from that, various different things. So, thank you very much, Elizabeth, for joining us, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you for having me, Emily.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Very welcome. Speak soon. Okay, bye.